Hi, my name is Alan from Alan Way Property. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about an aging population and its impact on property prices. Before I begin, I'm very sure hardly anyone talk about this content either on YouTube or on any other social platform. Anyway, I got this inspiration from one of my YouTube members who shared his concern about an aging population in the housing market. This is coincidentally after the Department of Statistics published a report on the Singapore population. Let us further explore the impact of an aging population on property prices. Without further ado, let's go. Let's go into the recent report published by the authority on the Singapore population. In this chart, in 2014, 64.8% of citizens were aged 20 to 64 years. This proportion decreased to 60.4% in 2024. By 2030, 65.8% of citizens were aged between 20 to 64 years. What does this mean? It means there will be fewer citizens aged between 20 to 64 years. Conversely, the proportion of citizens aged 65 and above increased from 12.4% in 2014 to 19.9% in 2024. By 2030, around 1 in 4 citizens or 24.1% will be aged 65 and above. That is why, have you noticed more seniors in our neighborhood in recent years? Singapore population is indeed aging. Hey, I don't anyhow say one ho. Just look at this article by the Business Times back in March 2024. The title read, Singapore is bracing itself for the super aging society. What does this have on the society as a whole? Will we be seeing more elderly care facilities and senior corners? Will we be seeing more ramps and elderly-friendly buildings around our HDB estate? Our former PM has already raised this issue at a book launch of Singapore Aging, Issue and Challenges Ahead on 11 April 2023. He said that the government will take the lead to push things in the right direction. He highlighted 3 key areas. First, to raise the retirement and re-employment age in step with demographic change. Secondly, ensuring retirement adequacy by updating our CPF scheme such as CPF Life, CPF contribution rates, workfare to silver support which provide cash payout to seniors who had low or no income during their working years. Thirdly, strengthening our healthcare system to meet increasing demand from an aging population, such as building new healthcare facilities, infrastructures, and upgrading existing one to expand the range of social and long-term care service in the community. By the way, all this costs money. It's not free. That is why taxes need to increase. Else, do you think money drop from the sky? Anyway, for those who want to find out more, you can refer to the Agency for Integrated Care website. There are tons of resources for those that need help. Don't say the government never helped you. Don't say you don't know. Now I tell you already. So, no excuse. And lastly, I don't want to hear any more complaints. Lai liao, what is more important than the impact on property prices? Are you all excited to find out more? I've combed through the internet and there are a few articles published both in the local and overseas context. For example, in this article on the effect of population aging on housing price in Korea. It mentioned that house price will decline by 3 to 12% in 2020 and more than 20% in 2030. The headwinds are in the largest province where aging is very fast and less in urbanized region. In the Singapore context, in this Business Times article dated September 2015, the title, Singapore property may face the aging threat. The study say home prices could fall 30% by 2040. But analysts say investment and immigration flows will support prices and mitigate the effect of aging, a less dynamic population. This is done by the National University of Singapore Institute of Real Estate Studies, which predict that Singapore home prices could fall by about 30% by 2040, as the society age and the old age dependency ratio rise. Here, what is the old age dependency ratio? In this illustration, it mentioned that the old age support ratio means residents aged 20 to 64 years per residents aged 65 years and over. The number has seen a decline of 3.7 in 2023 to 3.5 in 2024. Here, I just wonder, what is the ratio come 2030? 3.0? This means for every senior aged 65 years and above, there will be only 3 residents younger than them who need to support them. This also means we have to be mentally prepared to put in more resources such as time and money. This is unavoidable. At the same time, I came across this well-written article by the Straits Times in September 2024. For those who are an only child, no one share the load when mom and dad get sick. Here, you can slowly read the article by yourself. I will leave the links in the description below. But what I have to highlight is this: more caregiving stress for those with no siblings. As Singapore population ages rapidly, many adult children find themselves unexpectedly thrust into the role of caregiver. This is particularly so for those who are an only child and bear the full burden of caregiving responsibility. With family size shrinking, this trend is expected to become even more pronounced in the coming years. By the way, I can really feel the impact. It's a matter of time we need to deal with this. What better way to ask someone on the ground about the impact of an aging population on the property market? Correct? Let me humbly share my thoughts here. If we are looking at the most recent HDB resale price index, it is still trending upwards. In fact, it has been moving upwards for the longest time ever since it bottomed in 2019. Why is that so? Well, many factors which I have covered in my earlier video. However, one particular group stood out. Our seniors are planning to downsize or right size. There are two groups here. We will talk about HDB first. In this estate article, most older buyers of two-room flexi flats pick a shorter lease of 30 to 45 years. This also illustrates one thing. Studio flat or flexi flats are popular with HDB downgraders. Based on my market intelligence, most HDB owners that are staying in 3 and 4-room flat will go for the studio flat. Why? Obviously, money not enough already. They can easily cash out their HDB flat for 500,000 and buy a flexi flat for between 40,000 to 100,000. This means they have enough money to travel around the world. That is why all those travel fare is packed with seniors. Sorry ho, those that go there are not to see look only. They really go down and book travel package. Those that attend such fair before will know what I mean. This leaves me with a question. Who will buy the resale HDB flat? Well, you no worry. HDB is always a bread and butter asset. From ulu location to prime location. From new flat to aging flat. There is always something for every resale buyer. From singles, PR, families, and private property owner. Now, the second part. What about seniors staying in private property? Those who stay in landed will usually go and buy a condo. However, I have also personally handled some cases where the buyer bought a HDB flat instead. There is no right or wrong here. If they are good children, buy a condo and bless them. If you got lousy one, just leave the HDB flat to them. Very good already. Spend the money away, as the Hokkien sayings go. Ului ke jiak hong. Then, what about condo owners? Needless to say, most will cash out their $1 million homes and move to a simple HDB flat. Sell 2 million and buy 1 million HDB flat in prime location with full cash and keep another 1 million for retirement. No issue. We have plenty of that in Singapore. Singaporeans are very well-to-do one. Here, if senior private property owners move to HDB flat, then who will buy their private property? Is the latest Q3 data on a decline in private property prices a sign of things to come? We have a middle class that make millions from their HDB BTO flats to high-income families that drew easily 5-digit figure every month, to new citizens and newly minted PR that will be looking into upgrading into such spaces. The only $1 million question is, where and what will they be buying? Will there be a supply and demand imbalance in certain areas or housing types? Don't say I never warned you. Back to the question, with an aging population, how will it impact property prices? An aging population will bring along many issues to Singapore and Singaporeans. This is a very serious issue we need to tackle. As for how it affects property prices, we cannot deny that it will have an impact to some degree. That also depends on the many factors in the years ahead, from immigration, to marriage, to family size, to housing living arrangement, and change in social norms. After all, property prices are highly correlated to demand and supply. In the market, I've already witnessed some property types basically have very weak demand. Unless they are dirt cheap, else there are few takers. With that, I come to the end of this video. If you benefited from it, appreciate the like, and subscribe. I have spent many hours doing this content. And the best part is free. Where to find? Steady, right? See you around.